What I wish I would have known before becoming a qualified accountant. Well, you're in the right place. We have two qualified accountants that you can listen to our insights, leave any comments below, and I'm delighted to introduce you to Hannah, who's joined us on the channel today. So, Hannah, introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah and I'm the founder of Accountancy Hub, which is a new platform that launched on the 22nd of January and it supports accountancy trainees mainly from a wellbeing, community and inclusion perspective.
Oh, wicked, Hannah. Well, we're going to get straight into it now as I'm ACCA qualified. Which membership are you part of?
So I'm ACA, ICAWE.
It's okay. Don't worry. We're still going to get along. It's all right.
That's it, encore.
I know, indeed, indeed. But we're going to get onto it straight away. Think back to the start of your journey. I'm thinking about it now for mine. What was the thing that you wish someone would have told you right at the start, which would have just made your life so much more easier?
I wish someone had said it'll be a real struggle doing your accountancy exams, but you'll
Yeah.
get through it
Hmm.
and it'll be worth it. But that when you are struggling, there's help out there. It's not uncommon to fail exams. You're not
Hmm.
alone. And yeah, that it's okay. And if you fail an exam, you might go on to pass every single exam after that. I think when I failed one of the kind of first exams, I thought, oh, that's it. I'm rubbish at accounting. I should just give up now. Um, whereas actually, no, that might just be an area that you find really
Mm.
difficult. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses and bits they enjoy, bits they don't enjoy so much when they're studying. So you can go on and pass the rest. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, and it's one of those sort of things that expect it to be difficult on there. When I first started working, I got on a study contract, and you're with people that are they've all been there, done that sort of thing, and they're like, "Oh, which exam have you got on there?" And you're there going, "I'm really struggling to work full time and study part time." Where I was doing, I don't know about your experience, mine so it was evening classes. I did Saturdays and Sundays face to face. To then squeeze in mock papers. I had to do them before work, bits in between lunchtime. I mean, I wish someone had told me and just said, it's okay. You can get a better balance in your life and then reach out, ask questions like on the video you're watching today about say, these are things I'm struggling with, and we can maybe help you out on there. But what other things spring to mind, Hannah, that from your experience you go, oh, that's a real niggle from my experience from the newbie to being qualified.
I think people told me it would be difficult, but I didn't think I didn't grasp how much you would have to sacrifice kind of your
Mm,
social life coming up to exams. And obviously it's so worth it and you've got to do it. But I don't think that twigged right at the start, that I will have to say no to that birthday party or no to that if it's the week before an exam or 2 weeks before. It's
mm.
just life. You've got to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And before we get on to all these exams, we have some students who are maybe starting off on the first exams, maybe some foundation papers, AAT. You don't have to jump into it straight away, sort of 21 after university, 18 after school. The exams will still be there as well. This is something which I wish someone had told me. You can go do that gap year, you can go do that ski season, whatever it is. They'll still be there. Don't feel any pressure to do it. It's always people who do the exams get stuck into the career and the progression on there, and they can look back and they go, I really wish I'd have done that gap year, or I really wish I'd have done that trip that I've always wanted to go on. What are those sort of things that spring to your mind, Hannah? Because like we said, it just takes over your
Mm,
life and especially working
mm.
and studying at the same time.
Well, I was very late coming to accountancy. I started studying when I was 27 on a graduate scheme.
Mm,
So that felt quite unusual, but more and more people are doing it. They're
yeah,
having career changes in their mid to late 20s. And I think that's great, and you
yeah.
shouldn't be ashamed of that. So yeah, I mean, do whatever you have to do first before you get into accountancy.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world at all. I completely agree. Everyone goes through different paths, and no matter what age you're watching this or anything on there, just think to yourself, actually, what do I want to do on there? Because it's a just I knew it was going to be a big, I knew it was going to be a commitment, but I didn't realize how much of a commitment on there. And the other thing that I always talk about on my channel is that there are the financial implications as well, especially if you sign a study contract on there. So if you sign a study contract, it's great. Your employer pays for your fees on there, pays for your tuition, all rock and roll. However, there is the flip side of that, that you have to read that contract to say, well, what if you were to fail an exam or two? What implications could that be on there? And again, that can lead to everything from sleepless nights. It's sort of then you're going, oh my gosh, is this really for me, sort of thing. I mean, what other things from that sort of sense as a student, Hannah, do you think about on there as well?
Yeah, I mean, you are under a lot of stress if you are under a kind of a training contract, because as you say, it's in your contract that if you fail a number of exams, they can sort of fire you. So there is extra pressure. I would say in general, firms try and do the best by their
Yeah.
students. Um, and as I said, there's lots of support out there in terms of private
Mm,
tuition, and the actual big tuition providers are absolutely brilliant. The amount of times I emailed Kaplan about very specific queries, and they always get back to you, and they're so helpful.
mm.
So I just think use all the resources that you have at your fingertips, really.
Yeah, wicked. Honestly, yeah, it's again, it's just that knowledge and the experience that you and I have. And I used to work in practice myself, a small little firm, 25 people in there. And there are options, you can specialize in tax, you can go to industry. The other thing I wish someone had told me when I was sort of 21, because I was straight out of university, gained a few exemptions, was if you go and work in practice for a few years, that isn't your whole life on there. You can transition to industry. I went into teaching after that from it. You could actually start and run your own business as well. All these are the things that the skills you develop when you become an accountant that the average person doesn't understand. Cash flow management or an income statement or a balance sheet on there. These are the sort of things that you should try and use to your advantage if you want to start your own business, your own personal finances as well.
Definitely. I mean, I don't think I'd have the confidence to have started my own business if I hadn't done the ACA, because yeah, I understand a balance sheet and a P&L, and I know the different functions that make up an organization, and the different types of organizations out there. It's great for if you want to set up your own business. And also I was an inclusion consultant
Mhm.
while I was training to be a chartered accountant. So, you don't have to just work in a specifically finance sort of role. You can, as you say, do anything really in
Yeah.
advisory or tax or accountancy.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Or I went even down the other route went down the university education route of you can go on to do a
Education.
master's, you can do an MBA, get some accountants who then go on to maybe specialize in PhDs or to take their sort of technical knowledge and then to become a specialist in a particular area. You're not just going to be a cog in a wheel in one firm unless you want to be for the rest of your life. That the possibilities of travel around it. I mean, do you ever think to yourself, like, have you ever been on a mad travel adventure, or have you got plans in the future to really explore from these sort of things as well?
So I had a gap year,
Hmm.
and I went to America for a month and then Ecuador for 3 months. Absolutely loved that. And yeah, I'd love to do something like that again. Totally. I feel like I've done my hard years of study now and work, and feel like I deserve a break.
Yeah, yeah, no,
But
don't.
I've just set up a business, so that might not be in the near future.
Hey, that's okay. But I mean, there'll be some students who are watching this. I mean, I did Camp America after I finished university. I did 3 months out in North Carolina, worked in a business office, got to travel around the East Coast of America. Unbelievable when you're 21, life experience. So again, it depends. Just reach out, find. I always used to find people on LinkedIn and just ask them the question. Find someone who's done what you're thinking of doing, and then get in touch with them. Can you set up a call? Can you get them to drop you a message? Anything like that would be another sort of thing I wish I'd have known at the start of my accounting career, because most people are actually willing to help out, or even if it's just a message or if you join an Instagram live, anything like that can be the difference in you picking that decision over another.
Yeah, I absolutely love LinkedIn now. I never knew the power of LinkedIn, but having started my business, it's brilliant. And I would say once you kind of figure out what you do want to do, get a
Mm.
coach or a mentor. So I have a coach called Janice, and she's brilliant, and she kind of holds you to account. But also, if you have a kind of career mentor who's working in the sector that you want to work in, they can just give you such great advice about how to get into that area or how to progress in that area.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. Oh, well, shout out to Janice if you're watching this. You maybe you can send it to her on there. But yeah, even I think that's really good advice on that, Hannah, as well, especially if you're working and studying, or even if you're just working and fully qualified already, or even just starting out. Find someone who is in your workplace. Maybe you've met them face to face, maybe you've only met them online. Have you met Janice face to face? Anything like that? Or
I haven't. It's always been virtual. I'd love
yeah.
to meet her face to face, though.
Yeah, there you go. It's one of those things that there are people out there in your organization or the firm where you're going to work at, or even just someone on LinkedIn who could just help you out to make those better decisions because they've already been there and done that. And trust me on this, most people are actually willing, and they really appreciate you sending a direct message that's personalized and just say thank you, and always say thank you for their time as well is another thing on there.
Mm. Yeah, because they're giving that up for free. Um, but yeah, as you say, someone in your organization, it could be a leader in your team who you
Mm.
admire. And you don't even have to be as formal as to say, hello, please, will you be my mentor? You can just say, I'd love to have some advice around progression in the
Yeah.
team and getting into this particular area of work, or um, these sorts of clients that I'd like to work with. And then say, would it be okay if I put in a monthly meeting for the next few months? um, you know, I think they'd be really open to that and supporting you.
Yeah, 100%. Or even just asking, lots of people don't like difficult questions, shall we say, as to if you spoke to your manager and said, oh, can you tell me three things that, in your opinion, we're in a safe space right now that you think I can improve on there? And then straight away, there are things that you can go away and say, you need to be reading these technical articles. When you speak to the clients, you maybe need to change this. And before you know it, you're becoming that little bit better on there. And you're going to be way ahead in the future. So I completely agree, Hannah, on there in terms of finding a mentor, whether that's in your workplace or external, only going to help on there. But are there any other final thoughts, Hannah, that you're thinking on your mind, got to get on record, what you wish you would have known at the start of your accounting journey?
Um, I think just how valuable it is as a qualification. I know we've touched on that, but you can really do anything as an accountant.
Mm,
And that's the great thing about it. Law seems a lot more specialized when you compare it to accountancy. You can be the CEO of a company, you can be the CFO, you can work in education, you can work in consulting, you can work in any business and do any role, I think, with the knowledge you've gained from that qualification.
spot on. Yeah, and I'd just add to that as well. It's always the giving back part to whichever professional body you're part of, ACCA, ICAW, AAT. If you actually message the professional body and say, I'm willing to do maybe a round table or a talk or just get involved with like a school's talk, whatever, committee, council meetings, you'll be staggered by the network you'll start to build from it as well. So even if you're starting out as a student or you're fully qualified, I'd highly recommend it. And then you'll watch this video, find me and Hannah on LinkedIn, and then in a year's time, you'll go and do what we said and go, this has changed. I now own my own business. I now do this, 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 this. So I must say, Hannah, thank you so much for today, for sharing your insights and knowledge on there, and for your debut on the channel as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's been great being here.
Oh, wicked. Well, I hope everything goes well with the new business. Make sure you subscribe, guys, down below so you don't miss out on any future videos. I'll put Hannah's details and mine all below, so feel free to connect with us, and we'll see you in another video soon. So thank you very much.